At first, the COVID-19 restrictions were a big relief for me because suddenly the pressure to work and be a productive cog in the capitalist wheel lifted, and I felt that everyone was of equal value despite their income or ability to work, and that was a huge relief to me, and that was really nice.
COVID and isolation has affected my mental health in a pretty significant way.
I miss the option to hang out with people and to be around my support network face to face and share that energy. Now that they've lifted and I've moved across the state, I really feel like I've left all of that stress and fatigue back in my old house and back in my old state because I've finally reconnected.
And so sometimes I'm really sad, other times I'm angry, and there's a few days where I haven't gotten out of bed, and just kind of giving myself permission to have a day off has been okay. Giving myself permission to be where I'm at.
COVID-19 and isolation has been very tough for me since I moved here in December, and I moved here to being able to study therapeutic science, and I didn't like the studies I started to study. And it also made it less possible for me to connect to new people. As I said, didn't know anyone here. It was very struggle to just have myself to rely on, and it made me stress and anxiety as well.
Isolation in the beginning was great because I'm pretty introverted, so it gave me the opportunity to work from home when I was working, and if I was feeling anxious, I was feeling tired, fatigued from being anxious, I was able to go and meditate. I was able to go and lay down during my lunch break. There was no guilt with that.
The way I've looked after myself during isolation is kind of a two-pronged approach. One, I have professional help, so I like to speak to my therapist, and he gives me tips on how to cope and kind of guides me in strategies. And in terms of support, compassion, and empathy, I tend to turn to my friends and speak to them, and kind of, not that we'll necessarily commiserate, but it's nice to be heard and to feel like my emotions have some precedence. So it makes me feel less nuts, I guess, and that's super good.
So during isolation, good old COVID-19, part of my role is I've been working with queer young people in Western Sydney the last few years, and we'd usually have a face-to-face youth group maybe every 2 weeks. Obviously now we can't do face-to-face, so we transitioned online, and I think what's worked really well for these young people is having that 2 hours every fortnight available for them to just come and talk about how it is for them. It's like the only time that some of these people are accessing other queer people or any other support services for that matter. And knowing that there's that 2 hours every fortnight, they can just jump on that Zoom, and then they've got people there that are like-minded, are there to support them. I think it's really helped them, it's really supportive.
I have realised that I need to leave the house at least once a day, every day, to see the sky, like regardless of the colour that it is, because it reminds me that the world is bigger than me and my distress.
One of the main ways that I've dealt with COVID and isolation is relying on technology. Obviously now we're in an age where we have the technology where we can communicate. We can talk to people without necessarily being face to face. We can FaceTime and still read people's body language and have a genuine conversation and a genuine interaction.
The other great thing that's come out of this year has been the exploration for me of different self-care strategies that I might not have considered before. So, getting out into the garden, getting my hands a bit dirty, planting things and watching things grow has been, really incredible and really beneficial to my overall well-being.
We've got a group message chat with all of our friends, and there have been a couple of times where someone's just called the group chat and we've just been on FaceTime, just not talking or anything like that, but just kind of you know, vibing on our own and doing our own thing, just kind of with our mates there on the screen. And like,
the good things that isolation has brought to myself is that I had time to reflect on my own personality, on how I created myself and what I've been attached to. So it gave me opportunity to let myself more free, more with attachments and relations, and to be able to be, yes, myself.